Famous Twitch streamer and quote-unquote socialist Hasan Piker was on the Iced Coffee Hour today. He was asked if it's hypocritical of him for living this luxurious lifestyle where he owns a Porsche and lives in a multi-million-dollar California home while also promoting socialism on his Twitch channel every day.
A casual viewer that just kind of hears about you and maybe sees a few clips of you, a lot of the times it's like ranting on people, like wealthy people, and oh, people need to be taxed more. There's a privileged person. And then they look at your lifestyle and they see that you bought this fancy, $3 million house or whatever. You have a Porsche. You got you got canceled for $1,000 shirt that you wore to Coachella.
I did, yeah. Anyway.
But you see how this juxtaposition would confuse a lot of people and be like, this guy seems like a little bit hypocritical.
But according to Hasan, it's actually not hypocritical. He can live in a mansion, drive a Porsche, and still promote socialism, no problem.
This is not explaining that this is not inherently contradictory to the things that I advocate for.
So Hasan living a lavish lifestyle is not inherently contradictory to the things he advocates for. But later on in this clip, Hasan was asked about billionaires. Let's see what he has to say about them.
Billionaires, F tier, easy, not even a question, shouldn't exist, straight up, policy failure.
So according to Hasan Piker, the genius Twitch streamer that promotes socialism all day, every day, essentially, on his Twitch platform, basically his net worth is about as rich as a person should ethically and morally be allowed to be. The mental gymnastics this guy must go through to justify that, forget on camera and forget to be able to sell that to an audience, just in his own head, driving up to the Porsche dealership, picking out a $200,000, whatever it costs, very expensive car, and then drive back to your multi-million-dollar California mansion, turn on your Twitch stream, and rant on about tax the rich. The rich aren't being paid enough taxes. Billionaires shouldn't exist. But I live in this mansion, and I drive a Porsche. Like, how do you even, in your own head, deal with that? And look, I personally happen to think that the wealth gap is the biggest issue in Western civilization right now. It's probably explains to a large degree why Hasan, someone talking about socialism all the time, has risen to popularity so quickly in recent years, because probably lots of people can relate to the message. You could just say to them, look, you're being screwed. This is not fair. Some of the people you see in society have so much, and so many other people, the majority of people, are just struggling to live paycheck to paycheck, struggling to pay rent and stuff like that. But to wave your arms at this issue and say, oh, billionaires are a policy failure, that's such an unserious position. And it wouldn't be such a big deal if someone like Hasan did not have such a massive platform. Obviously, lots of people listen to him and agree with his views. Saying billionaires should not exist would destroy so much of the good part of capitalism. So many investments would just get stymied if you're pitching your investment and you say, oh, and once we hit this level, we have to give all our money away. So many big projects would not get funded. Probably the platform he's on, Twitch, which is owned by Amazon, wouldn't exist under this ridiculous policy prescription of no billionaires. And this Iced Coffee Hour, when Hasan goes on a show, just because he has such a massive audience, if he's some random person yelling in the street this, fine. He's very influential. People should push him back on this. What do you mean by no billionaires? What do you do when you hit 999 million? You just have to give all your money away? What is that going to do to the venture capital industry in the United States? Has Hasan even thought this through? Does he care? Or is it just virtue signaling and he doesn't give a crap as long as he can be like a whatever 5-10 million net worth guy? Oh, this is the correct amount of net worth. If you're a billionaire, you're a piece of garbage.
Socialism is not about forcing people to live a certain set of standards.
It is, though. According to you, you can't be a billionaire. That is a standard. Just one reason why this wouldn't work. These venture capital companies that fund all the great American companies of late, they invest in a whole bunch of companies all at once and just hope that the one company is a humongous winner, turns into a Google or an Nvidia or a Twitch, and makes up for all the other losses. If you say, nope, $999 million net worth, the rest of the money goes to, I guess, the government. And he even mentions in this clip earlier that he doesn't think the government spends it efficiently. Where do you put the money then?
I have no issues with being taxed more. I pay the tax rates that I do in California that you probably know better than I do. And although the spending on those taxes is not the best, I wish that they would spend it better.
Where do you put the money then? You just give it to homeless people? Where does that excess money go past that limit? And it won't matter as much because so many companies, if you cap that, they'll just go to a different country. They'll leave America. They'll figure something out. This policy of no billionaires is so ridiculous. Again, it wouldn't be an issue if he didn't have this massive audience. Give me a break. If he goes on a show again, it's not even difficult to question him. Just ask him what happens to the money. What are you going to do? Ask a few follow-up questions. You don't have to be a genius like I'm not in venture capital or anything like that. So again, I do think that the wealth gap is a humongous problem in Western civilization. But just applying socialism to a huge part of the economy is not the answer. It's not going to work, especially this ridiculous policy of no billionaires. And at least if you're going to sell a ridiculous thing like socialism, live by, like, do what you preach. Bernie Sanders owns 3 homes or whatever it is. Hasan Piker, mansion, Porsche, ridiculous.
Overall, it's not inherently contradictory.